So I just posted a video where I demonstrated what a fire break is. And this video meant to come before that one, but I had some technical difficulties, so I'm making this video now. So what's going on in California is absolutely tragic, and it's causing the destruction. People have died from this. But I talked about the difference between intelligent conservationism and stupid environmentalism. In California, they have a problem of stupid environmentalism where they are not doing proper controlled burns and they're not doing fire breaks. That's there to prevent, in part, to prevent the situation that you have going on right now. I've talked a lot in other videos where I tie wokeness to nihilism, and that I've made the connection between a nihilistic philosophy. And if we understand the philosophy, we can better understand the solution here. And wokeness. Now, in California, there are many expressions of this going on at the same time. I've already talked about the stupid environmentalism. One more thing I want to add with the stupid environmentalism before I talk about something else, another issue there, is that the authorities in California drained one of the reservoirs that would have been needed to help fight these fires that are occurring right now in order to decrease the salinity of a river to promote the existence of a small fish that's probably extinct right now anyway. So once again, they're putting, it's not even being done intelligently, but even if you were to do this intelligently, you have to put humanity above the natural environment. It's humans that naturally that do a better job at maintaining the environment than it being done in the wild. But anyway, with that stupidity aside, and you can say that this is incompetence, perhaps you can say that this is malevolence. Regardless, either way, it is nihilism. Also, another common expression of nihilism is socialism. And in California, you have this egalitarian policies where they put price caps on what insurers can charge. And in the case of California, they had a price control of insurance companies that insurance companies just couldn't do business. It wasn't cost effective for them to do it. They couldn't charge enough money to do business in California. And therefore, a lot of people lost their fire insurance, thus contributing to the problem. Furthermore, water is a scarce resource. Water is scarce in California because a large part of California is a desert. So, in a situation like that, you especially need the price mechanism. As famous economist Ludwig von Mises, founder of the Austrian School of Economics, pointed it out, he predicted the collapse of the Soviet Union precisely because price controls do not lead to a proper discovery of a proper communication mechanism to inform people how to utilize a scarce resource. In the state of California and many parts of California, they have price controls on water. They have where water is artificially cheap in California, in a place where price discovery is especially important with regards to water. If water was more effectively utilized in California, if it was conserved as the price mechanism would have communicated to people that it would have been necessary to, they may have had the resources better to fight these fires. Also, water management was also not done properly from a public standpoint. There are other means of directing water flow that was not directed properly. They could have filled these reservoirs and did not do so. They could have also utilized other reservoirs for other purposes. And again, was not done properly. Once again, the best piece of evidence I've seen so far of malevolence over incompetence was the case where a man with a blowtorch that had more than probable cause of him starting these fires, or at least one of these fires, was arrested by a group of citizens and then arrested by the police, and then was released by the justice system in that jurisdiction in California, saying there wasn't probable cause to arrest him. This is malevolence. This is, again, it's nihilistic. This person starting the fires, I'm just guessing, this homeless guy, he was probably envious. He's surrounded by all these mansions, and because he lacks any self-efficacy, because he doesn't have the confidence to do anything himself, he expects to be taken care of, he seeks to destroy the very thing that he cannot have, thereby starting these fires, thereby causing a massive loss of property. That's what I highly suspect is going on here. Furthermore, the officials in the Justice Department that should have kept him locked up released him because, again, and I suspect that there is a nihilistic motive going on, that they didn't feel like they could compete with more successful people than they were, and decided to facilitate this man continuing to, or other people involved in arson, to continue their arson. So we have stupid environmentalism. We have egalitarianism that has caused disruptions in business and resources that have led to this disaster. We have a lack of justice, which again is nihilistic and is anti-reason. See, you have to have reason to have justice. Otherwise, you have no accountability at all, or you have vengeance, which is improper accountability. So the lack of justice and the lack of resource allocation and incompetent and or malevolent decision-making on the part of the government in California has led to an absolute disaster that you're seeing right now. Now, the problem is that this nihilism that I've been talking about, it's being pushed in public schools, and it's been especially pushed in universities, which is why urban white liberals tend to be the most woke, because they're the most nihilistic philosophically, because they're the most indoctrinated. Which is the reason why it's so hard to change the politics in a place like California, where you got a lot of corruption and vote fraud there, but you also have a lot of urban white liberals there, because you have Los Angeles and San Francisco and San Diego, etc., and other places adjacent to these areas where there's a lot of indoctrinated people who bought into the philosophy of nihilism, which, I mean, you can change the politicians, but you're not really changing the politics because you're not changing the philosophy. So the solution to all this is you introduce reason. You point what's going on right now, the disaster that's going on right now, and you got to hold people accountable to this. And you have to say the solution to this is reason, like justice, for example, like incarcerating the arsons that are responsible for starting this, maintaining fire breaks, and also maintaining forests by doing prescribed burns, controlled burns, allocating resources properly by deregulation. Again, this is an expression of reason and rationality. That is the solution here. That is how you fix California. You have to take an example like this and say your policies and your philosophy, not just the politics, the philosophy behind the politics is what caused this, and we need to change the philosophy. I hope that the people there will look to themselves and ask themselves, okay, what part of this is my fault? You know, is it maybe my voting patterns that help contribute to this? You know, is it the lack of reasoning in the way I go about my business and the way I communicate with other people that then create the culture that it creates the politics that you're seeing right now there? So the solution is reason. The solution more specifically is fire breaks, control burns, allowing for a price mechanism and thereby deregulation and justice. So let's hope that people get that message and actually implement those things.